All right, let's get on to our next little category here. Let's talk about some anime in 2017.
Oh, baby.
Uh,
Can I go first?
yeah, yeah,
Can I
go ahead,
please,
go ahead,
please,
man.
please?
No.
You take the
My
lead.
Hero Academia. Holy shit.
I have a feeling that'll be a lot of people's answer.
I like
One of the few I watched, so yeah, it's great.
There's two series this year that have actually done well for me. The big
And
mainstream
Black Clover,
one is-
right?
No, not Black Clover.
That Peridot.
Oh my god, no.
No, I was gonna say
Arrow
it's
Manga
My Hero
Sensei.
Academia is definitely a good one. And then, while it didn't come out this year, I believe it came out a long while ago. Rakugo.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it might be my favorite I watched this year, but I think it's a few years old by now.
I think it is a few years old, but you know what? Screw it. It's the
It's
only
really
two that I've
good.
really watched this year. So
It's really good, but
those are the only two that really stuck out to me as being really wonderful, and I absolutely fell in love with for different reasons, but all the same, I fell in love with them. They were absolutely fantastic, and those are my animes.
there you go. What about you, Mal?
My Hero Macadamia.
Macadamia.
Hero Macadamia.
Those macadamia nuts.
I didn't watch a lot of anime this year, tbh. Or read a lot of manga. I mostly only read Shonen Jump manga this year too. It was really a bad year for me in that regards.
You know what? I don't blame you. There has not been a lot of manga that's really gotten my eyes. Or
The way
anime's
I
gotten
used
me.
to like keep track of it like fell apart, and I just there's no good way to keep track of like 50 different manga.
Yeah.
You have to have photographic memory.
Yeah,
Well,
and then it's My Hero Academia too. It's the best manga I read.
What about you,
The
Ted?
best everything.
I'll let y'all guess as long as you don't choose anything related to Gundam, because then you'll pick it.
Iron-blooded orphans.
I watched
Iron-blooded
a lot.
orphans.
I did watch Gundam, but I don't think any from this year.
Well, wasn't Iron Blood and Orphans season
I thought
2
IBO was
2017?
this year.
Maybe.
And oh man, like, great. Season 2 turned it up to 12. Like,
Oh yeah, final episode
Oh.
April.
yeah, oh man, just that I'm not spoiling anything, but that final battle scene,
It's so good.
so
It's
good.
Yeah.
You just Gundam has never done it better. Period.
It's also probably some of my favorite designed Gundam
Oh
of all
yes.
time.
Oh yeah. I will say from a building standpoint, I don't entirely enjoy building their Gunpla.
Yeah,
but
their
for
Gunpla are weird. They
the
do
same
things.
reason why I enjoyed them conceptually, because you really get to see the mechanics underneath. They're in Iron Blooded Orphans. The Gundam are like centuries, millennia old.
Just
And-
300 years, I think.
Is it only 300? I thought it was
I
long.
think
Okay,
so.
maybe it's only 300. You might be right. Maybe it's only centuries and not millennia.
There were 72 of them, and they were named after the demons from the Ars.
Ars Demonica or Goetia, yeah. Goetia.
Yeah.
But the way that they're designed, you always get the sense that they're not teas that they were 300 years ago, and the designs based off of that, where you might see a little bit of a hydraulic piece in this particular joint, or some cables here, or whatever, and it looks so good. The mecha designs just are top notch. The fight scenes, the way they animated them, they actually got a new animator for the series. I forget the name now, but that was top notch. And the story itself, to me, kind of returned to the roots of Gundam, of the whole.
It's also pretty dark.
For
It's about children soldiers.
It is
Ooh.
very dark. Yeah, and it has a happy ending, but I'll tell you right now, it does not have a happy ending.
Yeah.
It's
It's
bittersweet.
both of them.
That's the word, right?
Like, it was one of those ones where I was like, am I watching Gundam or am I watching Game of Thrones? I'm gonna stop liking characters if that means they live. But the fact that I swear I felt every emotion watching this series, which I guess is a good mark of a good series for me.
Yeah, it's
Iron
pretty
Blooded
intense.
Orphans.
Like, it's,
Yeah. You don't really have a down point on it. You don't have a calming point. It's you're going. If you have a moment to breathe, you know it's more that something's about to happen. A close second for me, relatedly, was I actually, and I think that this was 2016 was the latest from it, but the Gundam Build Fighters.
Oh yeah,
Which conceptually to me, I just love the idea of. So
me as well. I also watched that one.
Yeah. That one wins for me for older series that I watched in 2017 because
I'm generally more of a fan of the more lighthearted Gundams, like G Gundam in this one, just because I'm not huge into lots of people dying, and this one, I mean, they're just fighting with plastic robot or plastic models, so they're the deaths are to a minimum.
Yeah, well, and I have this guilty pleasure of loving the whole anime where kids get toys and they get to do like super battle with toys, but they're still toys. There's just a part of me that
it's clearly meant to sell more Gundam models, but I love it because we get to see way more Gundam models.
Agreed. Yeah. Oh man,
you Gunpla addicts.
I know, right? You guys have problems, an addiction.
Crack has never been stronger.
We're gonna put that on your tombstone. The crack has never been stronger.
Plastic crack. Please put plastic. Do not drop the word plastic. Please, I beg you.
You blanked out, so they didn't hear plastic.
Yeah, we did. That's what made it funny. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, those are the two main animes I watched this year.
I thought Mal was gonna say Little Witch Academia, perhaps.
Oh,
I did finish that one too.
Yeah,
I haven't got to watch it yet, but everyone loves it.
That's really
Trigger, right?
Too.
Studio Trigger.
Yeah, Trigger saves anime again.
Yeah, and the actual Netflix anime adaptation of it, like if the standalone movies you enjoyed, they take it up a notch with the.
Yeah, they reset it, but it's real good. There's also a Gurren Lagann episode.
Oh man,
there is a Gurren Lagann.
I love Gurren Lagann. It's one of my favorite anime. So.
Oh baby.
It's a top 5. I'm gonna go with. I got a guilty pleasure, which was Masamune-kun's Revenge.
I remember
which I forgot was this year until I scrolled through this anime of 2017 list last minute. It's your typical like rom-com. It's not even really super harem-y because there's only 2 girls that like the main character as opposed to like a gaggle of them. But
Takai's trying to seduce the main female because she spurned him, right?
Basically, he was a little chubby boy back in the day, and she called him Piggy, and she spurned him. But she actually kind of had a crush on him. She's just like so soon that she's barely any Dara at all, so he's basically like, all right, she called me Piggy. She doesn't like me. I'm going to turn my life around. So he basically becomes like this. The prettiest guy in school. He works out. He's a playboy. He's all about vanity and stuff, and it's all to make this girl fall in love with him again someday, so he can reject her this time. And they meet back. Things obviously don't go as planned. They kind of start to like each other a little bit. There's another girl who's best girl, and he spurns her obviously.
Well, you generally have pretty bad best girls.
Oh my God, Mal.
The waifu
Those are dueling words, sir.
Well, we can agree.
We all know Onodera was the best character.
Never.
Your waifu is a shit.
You Chitoge crapper. You. So I'll give that my guilty pleasure. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but I did enjoy watching it. A lot of people like give it crap. I'm not gonna like. If I would watch Arab manga Sensei, which I heard was god awful, that might be like my worst.
We're not gonna hold it against you.
Yeah,
I will.
I think Black Clover might be the worst one episode of anime I've watched this year. That first episode was rough. All the main character does is scream the whole time.
Well, it is done by Studio,
and it's done by Periot, who does all the big long running shonen stuff like Naruto and Bleach, and is notorious for having lots and lots of filler. Unlike stuff like My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan, and even Shokugeki no Soma, I say this, and then they are having filler as we speak. Oh. But the new big 3, as I call them, not even just Shonen Jump big 3, but just Shonen in general big 3. I think those are the 3 that fit in. Their anime do segmented runs. So you'll get like one season a year, whereas you don't have to sit there and watch like 20 episodes of filler every year. So My Hero Academia is great. We've lauded praise upon praise upon praise on that show. It might be the best shonen ever by the time all said and done.
I need to watch The Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah, you didn't get to catch up on that?
No, I forgot.
Yeah, you need to watch more of that. I'm going to go for my favorite anime this year, Made in Abyss, which is a adventure fantasy. It's based on a manga. Basically, it's in this weird fantasy world. There's this town. It's got a giant hole in the center of the town that have like monsters and stuff that live in it, and this weird supernatural kind of aura thing that basically like permeates what they call the abyss, this giant hole. So basically there's a little academy with like 12-year-olds who they send down into the abyss to harvest artifacts to wage war upon, basically to sell them to countries so they can wage war upon other nations and stuff like that.
Cheery.
Yeah, and it has very moe like cutesy art style, and it gets graphic and dark at times. You get to see like, I mean, it's not like super gory, but like the themes are very dark. It does have, I'll just post a link for it. That's like the cover of the first issue of the manga. It looks like a weird moe, like almost like KyoAni kind of thing, but it's a seinen manga, so.
So kind of almost in the same like disassociativeness that Madoka Magica was, where you're like, oh,
yeah,
and then suddenly darkness.
But less like subverting your expectations. This for right off the bat, in like the first 5 minutes, it's you see a kid almost get killed by a giant monster. So little girl named Riko, she's basically the farther you go down the abyss, you rank up in their little society, and you get like a whistle, a different color whistle. Her mom was like
being in video game type worlds are real popular these days.
Yeah. So the white whistles are like the most badass of the badass. They've like been to almost all the way through the abyss, which has like 7 known layers, I think it was, and you get a curse for every layer you go down to. If you try to go back up the next layer, you get some horrible curse, and they get worse and worse as you go farther down. So she's basically going to get killed by this monster. And a little robot boy who is an artifact, you kind of find this all out really soon, so I'm not spoiling anything, ends up saving her, and her mom's down there, and she hasn't come back, so she's determined to go to the bottom of the abyss to find her mom. And it's got lots of really cool world building. The characters are good. The world is probably like the coolest thing about the show. It was really well done. Loved it a lot. I give it a solid 8 to a 9 out of 10. So I think it's definitely worth watching. A lot of people say it gets like super grim dark later on, which, you know, you're speaking to Mr. Grimdark himself. But a lot of people say it's really gory, but I didn't really think it was that gory. So
I think that's gonna be subjective, though.
Yeah. For sure. So, but it does have dark elements. So I think it's
have you seen / read Akane or
Akame ga Kill?
Oh man.
I think I watched a few episodes of it. I don't remember it really though.
If you watched a few episodes, then okay. If you don't remember it, never mind.
It was the girl. She had fire, didn't she, or something?
No,
I might be thinking of something else then.
Probably.
Okay, I might not have seen it, but
okay.
It's good, but it gets kind of gory.
But yeah,
and it's a tragedy.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. This isn't through the whole manga. The manga's still ongoing, so and I think it is getting a second season, but yeah, it's a seinen, so you know it's going to have like adult themes and some kind of serious like stuff going on.
Also, Welcome to the Ballroom came out this year, but it's probably not getting a dub.
Oh, that's really good too. That's probably my number 2, honestly. I almost count My Hero Academia like as last year too, but the second season was really good. If I'm going to rank second season, I'd put Made in Abyss number 1, My Hero Academia number 2, and Welcome to the Ballroom number 3. I loved Welcome to the Ballroom.
It's so good.
It was freaking amazing.
The manga is, at least.
Yep, and it caught up completely with the manga, or at least what we've had translated, so I want to see more of it. So yeah, that's our animes of the year.